All right, and we are live. Thanks for joining. We are going to be getting into sorry, let me get the hat adjusted here. Yes, that's good. Sure. That'll look presentable for my followers. All right, so we're going to do a recap of this morning's draft. And then following that, we're going to go ahead and do a quick marathon draft. So real quickly, just quickly, some housekeeping stuff here at the top. If you guys would like, go ahead and follow me out here on Fantasy Fitness IO. My handle is fantasyfit.io. I'm going to provide player insights and roster management tools to help you dominate your leagues. Getting heavily into best ball this year. Also have some redraft leagues and some dynasty leagues. So happy to talk about all three and how I think about them differently, strategically, one front versus another. First thing I want to do also is just point out the app. So you'll find the app here at https://www.fantasyfitness.io. If you go to fantasyfitness.io, it's going to take you here if you're logged in. And if you're not signed in, it'll take you to the marketing page. But once you're logged in, you'll get an opportunity to pull up any of these player profiles of, mostly, I'm missing a few players, I'm getting them in, but all fantasy relevant players, unless you're in like a really deep, like 14 team or 16 team league. Now, with each player profile, you're going to get general information about that player, contract information that can be useful for dynasty purposes, and see if I can back ever so slightly. Oh, double chin. Is there a way to hide my double chin? What the hell? Show it off. All the cool kids are doing it. You get the contract information, which will link out to Spot Track and give you a more detailed breakdown of that player's contract situation. Next, we give a breakdown of that average player's average draft position for each player. So what this is going to allow you to do is kind of find value on different platforms. If you're playing in home leagues with your friends versus FFPC versus Underdog, that best ball type of formats. The week 17 opponent, this will give you a breakdown for your best ball leagues on where who the opponents are for week 17. I'm also going to expand this in the next week or so to show weeks 15, 16, and 17. Because really in these tournaments, those are the championship weeks, and you need to look for correlation, 3, and then the bye week for each player and the social media presence. So here we go. We're going to jump over to Underdog. And in Underdog, we're going to pull up my most recent draft. Now, this draft happened this morning. It's in the marathon. And when we go to this draft, we look at completed. We're going to look at the marathon. And in here, our most recent draft, let's go ahead and pull it up. And let's take a look. Do we like this team? Was this a good draft? Drafting from the 6 hole. I'm going to go Hero RB if I can get Breece Hall or Bijan Robinson. I get an opportunity to get Bijan, so I take Bijan and I start the Hero RB build. It comes back around to me. I had a choice between Nico and Debo in my mind, and I chose to go with Debo. Once we circled back to the third round, I wanted a piece of Neighbors. I briefly thought about Olave, and I also was considering Metcalf until he went. But for the long term, I just thought that Neighbors provided the most upside in this tournament style event, where he may start off a little slow, but his ceiling is enormous with his what kind of target volume he can earn as a player, and then the projected target volume he's expected to get with the team. It comes back around, and I want Tank Dell. Tank Dell and Devontae were my two targets, and they went. I wasn't really considering Higgins here. I guess I'm just not. I'm not sold on him. So I went with Pittman. He has a lot of questions, and I know there's a lot of fades on him in the community. I think he's going to be okay, and I just thought at that value, 4-7. If we come out here to the Fantasy Fitness app, we take a look at sort of historical metrics. If we look at his talent score, 24. So, reason to be concerned for sure. But his team environment, he comes out pretty strong, 8.46, wide receiver 14. And combined together, I'm getting about an 8.29. So he comes in just in front of Olave. He comes in front of Drake London. Obviously, Ayuk would have been a steal there, but given where we were on the board, this is, I don't know exactly which number wide receiver off the board is, but just from all the orange, I know it's more than wide receiver 19. So yes, I have a fade, but I'm still going to play that in that particular situation. It comes back around, and in hindsight, it comes this way. And I was considering Xavier Worthy, but I thought I might be able to get onto this stack with wasn't exact that's a mistake. Now that I think about this, Zay Flowers here would have made sense. I think in hindsight, maybe Xavier Worthy. I was kind of torn between them, and I heard Liam Murphy yesterday talk a little bit about how the community in general is down on Zay, and Zay in this range is pretty good. So I think that was probably what was driving my decision making, for better or worse. And I have a lot of Worthy shares, so just, I guess, just taking it there, and thought I could get Brian Thomas Jr., BTJ, that might be able to kind of play the same role as Xavier on this team. So I thought maybe just a little bit more floor with Zay, and then BTJ later to kind of get the same play. Came back around, Adunze was gone. He would have been my target. He was gone. Went ahead and went with BTJ. And then snagged up Bowers in the 7th. I love that value. Came back with Jaden Daniels in the 8th. And here's where it gets good. So at this point now, I've kind of built out potential stacks. I already have one stack in Neighbors and Pittman, and then I'm in a position now to start like layering on some correlation. So Bijan, I go Jaden Daniels, just for all the rushing in that game, week 17. Come back and get Jalen Warren, who pairs with some of these teams in week 16 and 15 for correlation. So I felt good about that. Got the Austin Eckler pass catching piece to suck up some of the passing volume from the wide running back position with both Bijan and Jaden Daniels. So I'm not sure how that'll positively correlate in that game, but it could be close. You could argue Atlanta will be up. Pass catching running back in Austin Eckler we'll just have to kind of see. So he became my wide receiver or my running back 3. At this point, we had Bijan, Jalen Warren, Austin Eckler. Came back in the 11th, got the spike week for Rashid Shaheed, knowing I had Brock Bowers. So I thought that could be a good run back. Then came back around and just told myself get a piece of a John Harbaugh offense and I could play the Patriots off of that. So I went ahead and went with Dobbins, who's only 25 but has been injured, thinking I might be able to get Vidal later. So in any event, did that. Didn't really like a ton of what I saw in here. So 13, it would have been Jordan Mason would have been my pick here with Devo and sort of a 49ers piece, but I opted for the upside of Musgrave. And there's also, I think the week before that, Green Bay and the Raiders play each other. So went with Musgrave, then saw that I had some correlation with the Bucks and the Steelers. So I played Jalen McMillan to go along with my Dobbins shares, I think for week 16. Come back around, get Antonio Gibson, thinking I might, I'm getting that backdoor stack with Chargers and New England. I get the pass catching running back, who I think is going to be the most valuable running back in that offense, just because he's more explosive than Ramadre. So I like that piece of it. He profiles as a third down back, but he does have the necessary size to be a first and second down back in the event that Stevenson goes down. And I do expect Drake May to be playing sometime in the first half of the season. Comes back around. I have the stack up here with Jaden Daniels, and then I also have the Pittman neighbor stack. So to get a little bit more correlation in that game, I go with Wendell. Come back around, get my third tight end, who I think will also have spike weeks and can play off of any down games that Bowers has, with Musgrave and Dulcich providing occasional spike weeks. Circles back around, and I need another quarterback to offset my Jaden Daniels week 14 bye, and I opt for Gardner Minshew the second because of the haircut more than anything. And that also worked well with my Bauer Shaheed stack. And so it was between Gardner Minshew and Derek Carr. And I just don't think there's really much of a comparison. Got to go with the stash. So there she is. That's my $300,000 winning ticket to the marathon. And now let's go ahead and jump in and do another one. Appreciate y'all being here. I think it's important to talk about what you did well and what you could have done better. That was definitely one of my better drafts. Things went pretty well. Correlation stacked up nicely. Didn't get sniped. Didn't run out on the timer. All those kind of things that can chew you up. So hopefully this will be quick. Let's see how it goes. While we wait, I'll go ahead and get back onto the players page. We'll do a draft. Pull this out. We're only waiting for 2 people, folks. This is going to be quick. Yes. We're going to be in, we're going to just call this like Team 7. Number 7. And this is the marathon. Oh, okay, here we go. I get the 101. Let's do it. Underdog, best ball, half point PPR, cumulative scoring. Let's move this over. And we will move this over. So this is my draft companion. Helps me kind of just look at players, confirm things, look at stacks. Building out the stacking component later. On the clock. I'm going to make this easy. Always the Damian Tomlinson, i.e. Christian McCaffrey. You're never going to get overweight on him, so you might as well get him where you can get him. Drafted by me. Then we had Lamb. These Underdog ADPs are a couple days old, but that's okay. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to get this draft cooking. And Robinson goes 3. Pops right up. Immediately, I can see what kind of stacks I have here. We're looking at St. Brown, who will be gone shortly. So that'll fade out. But we could get into a Laporta and Goff or Montgomery. Those are really our options. In any event, I think the only one I'm really going to maybe tag up here would be Goff, just because of his price. And we could also tag up Laporta. News on Laporta. Not on the injury report. Okay, good. So Jefferson, St. Brown, and Hall. So Hall, Jefferson, and St. Brown go. As does A.J. Brown. And CeeDee Lamb went earlier. A.J. Brown. Okay. Puka Nacua. Garrett Wilson. Shoot, I haven't been sharing my screen, guys. I'm so sorry. That's killer. Okay, Harrison and Gibbs. Taylor. Barkley. H.N. London. Overrated. Overrated. I don't know who these guys are, but we definitely got some sharps in here. Five picks away. Nico. Cup. Did Waddle go? Oh, no, Waddle's there. Kyron is back up. So yeah, one pick in. Strategy here. Definitely want to pull up that week 17, 15, 16, 17. All right, let's go out to that. Okay. Samuel goes. We'll get back there in a minute. Henry. Wow. Pacheco. Wow. Thank you. I'll take Kyron at this spot. As a 3-1. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go. Probably stick with my hero build, but we'll see. He left me Kyron here in the third. Let's go Ayuk. And let's go Neighbors. We went Ayuk and we went Neighbors. Waddle went, HN went. Let me go back to that ESPN. This is going to be nice when I have this all built up. Not to play these games. San Francisco plays Los Angeles. So that's where that piece comes in. Okay, so you could go Kyron. We could go Kyron here. All right, so wow, quite a slide a little bit there for. We're going to go Olave, still on the board. Adams goes, Evans goes, Hurts, big reach there for Hurts. Jacobs, gosh, ETN, Jacobs, ETN, Rice, Olave. Did I miss Rice or did I get Rice? Yeah, Rashi Rice. Okay. Metcalf. Notice that talent score isn't as high as maybe his perception in the marketplace. Quite a premium to pay for spike weeks. Moore, Smith, Cook. Wow. More. Smith. More Smith. Smith more. Doesn't matter. Laporta. Kelsey. Good pick. Mahomes. Applies the block. Higgins. People love their Higgins. I'm not one of them. Tigdale. Three away. Diggs goes. Baltimore play. Pittsburgh. New York. Andrews here makes sense. With one of these two picks, I'm getting that Baltimore Neighbors game. And then Dolphins, if I can get into Dolphins. Mark Andrews, for sure. And Terry McLaurin, who do they play? Washington, New Orleans. So if I go Bowers, it could make sense. Terry here. I like Terry. I like Xavier, but yeah, I'm going to go Terry. All right, so let's recap. We went Anchor RB, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Malik Neighbors, and Terry McLaurin. And then Mark Andrews for a Giants, Ravens, week 15. Let's catch up on the app. So Alan went. I like that overall fantasy fitness score. I like that talent score. Drafted by me. Drafted by me. Now we have Zay, McBride, Cooper. Did he go? He must have went. Okay, Kenneth Walker goes. Lamar Jackson goes. Rashad White still out there. Dalton Kincaid went. Cooper. Did he already get Cooper? Yes. Rashad White. Joe Mixon. $14 picks away. Appreciate y'all being here. No. Absolutely not. So Worthy. Kamara. Mixon. Pickens. Ridley. Kirk. Montgomery. Odunze. Pitts. Godwin, right? Yeah, Godwin. CJ Stroud. Richardson. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. Kittle. McLaurin. Connor. Evan Ingram goes. That is okay. Based on this build. Washington. I would say Keenan. That's a little. Brian Thomas Jr. And then we go Ferguson. I already have Andrew, so let's mix in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigma, 8.27. Absolutely wanted a piece of him. And then Brian Thomas Jr. for that upside. Now, let's see what kind of correlation we have here. Let's go ahead and take a peek. Does Seattle get any of this? Green Bay. Okay. Chicago, week 17, and then Minnesota. Interesting. So a Minnesota piece that might make sense later would be like a Jordan Addison. He's going right in here, so I want to tag that up. Would take a Brock Bowers, but I think working on the running back now makes a lot of sense. In this room, you have Swift. You're not going to get those guys, but you could get Pollard. You're not going to get Pollard. Well, then you want to get that Tajiri Spears piece down in here. That's going to be pretty useful. Keenan Allen. So after I went, it was Keenan, Jones, Mostert, Johnson. Keenan. Harris and Mostert. Definitely offers the spike week upside that we crave. Oh. Let's go. So we want Minnesota. Did Jordan Addison already go? No way. Did I uncheck him? So Harris, Ferguson, Burrow, Coleman, Stevenson, Williams, Swift, Caleb Williams. He's been climbing up those boards just in the last few days. Pollard, Addison. Okay, so Addison goes. Pollard. Zamir White. Tony Pollard. Christian Watson. Five picks away. Vlad goes. Jones. We have I'd say a Brock Bowers. DeAndre Hopkins. It's a crossover. Spears. Robinson Jr. Jalen Moore. Minnesota if I can get it, but now if we're looking at this and we go to Jackson, that's 17. Still a cool command. Could do the McLaurin Daniels stack. That could be interesting. If I do that, definitely need to come out of here with a running back. It goes without saying. I think with this particular build, I do like Robinson. not overweight on week 14, but I would get there quickly. And then the question is Hopkins or Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels here. I like that upside, fits this build. Let's go Jaden Daniels. That should suck up a lot of the rushing touchdown upside. No correlation there. Let's go look at that. Washington, Philly. That's week 15. So any Philly pieces left over. Also Washington, New Orleans. So Bowers could have made sense there, but I ended up with the Andrews piece. So yes, but that does leave a little bit more in terms of Jacoby Myers. Shaheed. Gabe Davis. That's my spike week group. Adonai Mitchell. The run back with Neighbors. Definitely wouldn't mind. Could go Rico, but I don't really have strong reason to do that. Now I did say Blake Corum, but also be in play here. Jerome Ford. Interesting play. Don't have tons of Miami in these last couple of builds. Bowers goes at the 9-8. He's definitely getting hooked up. We're leaving this guy with a lot of decent pieces. Although, I don't know, he's playing the tight end game. Generally doesn't work. Appreciate y'all being here. Definitely have some more explosive players that I want to get in on here. Did we say Washington was playing Chargers as well? Remember, that's like week 16, right? And that's Washington, Philly. Week 15, Chargers. Okay, so no. Tampa Bay is what I was thinking of. Okay, let's catch up. Skip. Skip, skip, skip. Drafted by me. Skip. Jacoby goes. Thought that could happen. Mooney kind of goes in that range, right? A little later? Okay. I mean, really, why not Mooney at that point? There is some Green Bay play here. That's a week 14, so a Luke Musgrave could be a nice pairing. That's not week 14. Schultz as well. That could be week 14. They've got that week 14 bye. Whereas Musgrave has the up weeks, but the week 10 bye. Tua goes, Goddard goes. Brian Thomas, Jacksonville. So any piece of Tennessee would be nice. Okay. So the run back in that game, Anai Mitchell's not too far down. Didn't score out great. Blake Corum. Yes. Blake Corum makes sense here as a 3. And then didn't get into that game, so I don't think I want to go Shaheed here. Gabe Davis could also be good. They're both crapshoots. Let's go Adonai Mitchell. So Ayuk, Neighbors, McLaurin, Brian House Jr., Jackson Smith, and Jake Adonai Mitchell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At some point, I want 3 more running backs. So, drafted. Pretty good score here for talent. Tough person to figure out. Steelers play who? I keep getting this messed up. Philly, which I have no part of. Baltimore, which I do have a part of. Kansas City. Luke Musgrave as well as Pat Fairmouth. Robbins seems too good here. You can always make that play off of Polk. Gabe Davis is still there. Darryl Mooney. Michael Wilson, Luke Musgrave. Herbie goes. Freiermuth goes. Freiermuth, McLaughlin. That could be a nice way to play it. But thinking Dobbins would add some really nice stability. Fits the build. Chargers, New England. We know that for week 17, 16. Chargers, Denver. Chargers, Tampa Bay. Dobbins goes. Oh, he's good. I don't know who he is, but he's good. Four picks away. The target here is probably going to be Mooney. Could be Mooney Kirk. Could be. Could be. I'm not usually targeting Mooney, but Spike Weeks definitely fits this style. So we'll have to see what happens here. Really? Kirk Cousins. Okay. Definitely not giving him Mooney. Like that Spike Week upside. No. Don't love this range. I went Mooney there. I'm going to go Luke Musgrave. Let's go Ray Davis. Got some plays off of Let's go look at Buffalo. Try to get some correlation here. Buffalo plays New England. So, okay, let's see. New England. Okay. Week 16. That's week 15. Buffalo. Detroit. And I didn't get anything in Detroit yet. So my Buffalo opportunities are Detroit. Detroit, New England. So I like the idea of Antonio Gibson. He does well in the model. I think for spike weeks, I think he could be okay. He also swing on Senate. Because I did Andrews, I'm okay doing Andrews and Dulcich. I think this could be a 2-room build. I would also be okay with doing a 3-room. And this could be a nice Drake May build as well, but that's week 14. Will Levis, week 5. To play the opposite of Brian Thomas. Gino, week 10. So yeah, be a 2-room. I could load up on a few more running backs. I think Fant could be fine in this format. Get Andrews, and then you spike it with Fant. Two away. Appreciate y'all being here. Best ball marathon. Get your money in good. I'm looking for two away. How does he do? Talent. think you get offer some spike week. Now with this build, I like because of this build, I can throw a dart on cowing. Tight end wise, probably gonna be Jawan or Chig. What's his ADOT? Chig's ADOT. Okay. 15, 16, 17, 18. I would consider a May piece here. Definitely want to look at this tight end situation. Maybe do some purple crack. Should we do some purple crack? Who's gonna be the purple crack? Now, who does John play? Is there some correlation there? If I go Miami, San Francisco, yeah. So John absolutely in play. He'd probably be at the top. Get some crack. Don't need a ton of crack, just need a little crack because I have maybe one more cowing. Roman Wilson would also make sense in this build. I think I'm going to go 2. I don't think I'm going to go 3. Could go May. Maybe go May. Could also go Daniels. Appreciate y'all being here. Wrapping this up. A few picks away. People going slow. Yes. Get the John shares. Hit those up. Oh, it's decision time. Oh, wow. The Steelers. That's good. Cowing. Maybe tack on one more running back here. Steal. Tyrone Tracy. He was there. But we had some correlation, right, with Philly, if I remember right. Yes, Philly, Pittsburgh. I don't have a Pittsburgh piece. Actually, I stayed out of Pittsburgh. A Roshan piece could make sense. Yeah, probably pull Roshan it. If Roshan's there. End it with Roshan. If not, you have Estime. If not, Estime. What's this? Emmanuel Wilson. I would say Sion Baki. Probably be number 2, Estimate 3. Based on these. Yeah, the Sion Baki could be. Never know. Never know. That's week 17. There's also Cam Akers. Why should I get fooled? I don't know. I mean, as a 6, it's not the worst 6 in the world. Probably go Savaki. Or Roshan. Roshan's got value. Yeah. Roshan this late is probably the play. Siobaki. Siobaki. What are we looking at here? 5.3213. 4th rounder. Player profiler. Siobaki. Interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna go. I don't know. That's tough. Akers goes. This guy's like, shit, how's my guy? Let's go get Underdog to maybe done with it. Ricky Pearsall. Okay. Dulcich is there. New Dulcich. Siambaki. How does he get onto the field, right? I mean, and that's it. Thanks everybody tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the draft. Take a quick look at it real quick, and then we will wrap this puppy up. Come back later tonight for our third and final best ball draft of the day. All right, so we went Jaden Daniels, Will Levis, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, Blake Corum, Ray Davis, Antonio Gibson, Roshan Johnson. 8 wide receivers: Brandon Ayuk, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr., Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and Nye Mitchell. Darnell Mooney, Jacob Cowing, Mark Andrews, Johnny Smith. Good team. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.